I fucked up. Of course I fucked up. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another iteration of Friday Phil. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Please ignore my technical fuck up there. That was... Now I'm having another fuck up because I can't get my damn monster open. There we go. There we go. There we go. I got it. Look at me getting fat drinking monster. Getting a belly. Need to go back to the gym. That's what I need to do. Just waiting on a thing for my car before I start heading back to the gym. Anyway, it's Friday. Another week has come and gone. More movie shit's happened. But you bet your ass we gonna talk about it here today, everybody. You bet your fern. Bet your ass. Bet your fern. What do you guys like better? Bet your fern, bet your ass? Which one? Should I make a poll? I should make a poll, right? Excuse me. All right, who we got in the chat? Mr. Jeffrey Dirksen, the Keyblade Master. Just Malcolm, Ayo, what's up, what's up? Andrew Haley, how's it going, how's it going? Let's talk some nerd shit. I always talk some nerd shit, but yeah, we're going to talk some nerd shit today. That's right. Hey, what's up, Phil? I already know what I'm doing this summer, seeing 3 popular movies in July, Jurassic World, Superman, and of course the main one, Fantastic Four First Steps. We will discuss that. That is definitely a point of contention amongst many. I will be discussing that. We'll be discussing some of the discourse surrounding those 3 movies. We will get there, don't you worry. Malcolm Adventures, how's it going? You look familiar. You look like someone I used to work with. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. My boy Jedi Mike, how's it going? How's it going? Okay. All right, so before we get into like the nitty gritty, the fun shit, the cool shit, the shit you saw in the thumbnail, right? I'm gonna talk about some other stuff that I've seen beforehand, some other stuff that isn't quite in the thumbnail. This first thing I actually literally just saw like right before we went live, and it is Rachel Brosnahan talking about getting the job of Lois Lane for Superman. So I'm going to go ahead and share this because I think it's actually quite insightful and very cool, more than anything. So let me go ahead and get that all fucking... There we go.
In the next couple months. The most viewed trailer in Warner Brothers history, they were telling me.
Crazy. Yeah, they did mention that. That's awesome. So happy.
What are you most excited for us to see?
I feel like we're living through a moment right now where things are tough for so many people. A lot of darkness out there, and these movies, these kinds of movies, as much as people sometimes rag on these superhero movies, they bring people joy. They make them happy, and they invite people into the fantasy where the good guys beat the bad ones. And I think we just need a little bit more of that right now, where courage wins and the pursuit of truth and justice are the American way, you know. And I'm excited to be able to share that with an audience, especially in this moment.
When you got the call that you were going to be a part of this project and take on such an iconic role, what went through your mind?
It was just total disbelief. I was in a bathroom at an Aritzia in New York, and my phone started ringing and it said James Gunn. So I was surprised that his number was listed, but you know, it was like James Gunn, and I was like, oh God. And I picked up the phone, like trying to make sure no one was like flushing behind me. And he told me, and I think it took me quite a while to process. Maybe not until we actually got on set and started shooting.
Yeah. Did you feel a sense of responsibility, duty, anxiety?
Yeah, all of the above. But you know, this sounds like I hate to even make this comparison, but I have a theater background, and it's not unlike Shakespeare, where these iconic roles get taken on over and over and over again by new actors, and they get made their own. And so I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants in this part, and hopefully can make them proud and all the fans proud. I'm excited to be part of it.
Okay, so 2 parts to that. Number one, I like what she said about people wanting joy and people wanting something to escape the fucking cruelties of our world, and you know, like how people want to kind of enjoy things. Like, let people enjoy things, right? Like, what a novel fucking concept. And I like that the whole leaning into truth, justice, and being the American way thing. Okay, fine. That feels a little like, hey, if you're out there talking about it, throw that out there. I'm not of the whole, Truth, Justice, American Way shit when it comes to Superman, but I get why that little bit might have been thrown in there. It's no skin off my back. But I did like that she being Rachel Brosnahan, my God, she's beautiful. She was just like, yo, these characters mean something to people, and what we're doing, it gives them that joy. And I can respect and appreciate that. I actually really dig that a lot. I think she's going to be an amazing Lois Lane. I think she's probably going to be the best part of the movie. But that's just me. The second part is how she landed the job. She was in the bathroom and her phone rings. Oh, it's James Gunn. Oh, I hope nobody's flushing something behind me. Very apropos for James Gunn to be calling someone while they're getting out of the restroom. Okay, that was really bad toilet humor, because James Gunn, toilet humor, they kind of go hand in hand, right? No, but that her just standing, like saying she's standing on the shoulders of giants. You've got Margot Kidder, you've got Bitsy Tulloch, you've got Amy Adams, you've got, oh damn it, who was Lois Lane in Lois and Clark? Terry Hatcher. Yeah, Terry Hatcher. Yeah, I don't blame her for having a little bit of hesitation. I don't blame her for being like kind of trepidatious about doing this, especially after so many people have come and made the role their own, which she did talk about in a sense of Lois Lane being kind of like a Shakespearean-esque kind of role. Same in the way of Superman or Batman or any of these characters that have been around for 80 fucking years, give or take. But yeah, I saw that literally like right as I got home and started eating some food, and I saw that. I was like, I want to talk about that. That's great. I really just love her perspective on going into this movie, making this movie. I really did like that a lot. And again, she is very, very sweet on the eyes. She's just very, very beautiful to look at. Just throwing that out there too. Keeping in line with some superhero sturf, I'm going to bring up an article written by my good pal, Mr. Andy Babacht, because this is kind of going to go over some shit that you guys may or may not have seen making the rounds on the internet from a certain scooper who, well, to be quite frank, he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. And he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up because he wants people to look at him. He wants people to look at how gray his hair is becoming. He wants people to pay attention to the things that are coming out of his mouth, as if they are, in fact, going to become true. Just because you get one thing right and your batting average sucks doesn't exactly mean you're going to be batting 1,000 there, buddy. But I figured I didn't want to bring up each individual one, but fortunately a good friend of mine wrote up an article detailing some of this stuff. So let's just go ahead and give my pal Andy his time to shine. Okay, MCU's first 3 X-Men movie actors are being considered according to Marvel Report. This is written by, again, my good pal, Mr. Andy Babacht. The X-Men movie reboot is reportedly eyeing several names for some of the famous mutants in the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe film. While the MCU is getting through the rest of the multiverse saga, there is another big corner of the franchise that Marvel Studios is working on as the X-Men's time is slowly approaching. When the first X-Men team-up movie currently being developed by Marvel Studios, there will be a lot of iconic characters for casting in the MCU. In a new report, listen, Andy, I love you, and I get why you have to write it as a report. I'm just going to go ahead and call it a rumor, because let's face it, homeboy, Mr. N. Snyder, is full of shit more often than not, so take this rumor with a grain of salt, folks. Marvel Studios has reportedly started looking at multiple big names for a handful of X-Men characters in their upcoming reboot. According to the N. Snyder, Sadie Sink is being looked at for Jean Grey. Harris Dickinson is being eyed for Cyclops, with Julia Butters being considered for Kitty Pryde. At the time of this story's publication, Marvel Studios and Disney have yet to comment on the X-Men casting reports for the MCU. Given that there is no director in place yet for the X-Men movie, it's crucial to remember that if Marvel Studios is looking at potential stars, that doesn't mean that they are guaranteed to be the ones to play the said roles. It all comes down to factors like final screen tests, schedules, negotiations, as well as the larger endgame plan for the X-Men and the MCU. While the reboot is in development, a release date has yet to be set by Marvel Studios, which will definitely play a factor into the casting. If the reported stars end up getting cast as Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Kitty, it indicates that the MCU wants to start off the mutants at an early age. In comparison to the first cinematic take, during the Fox Marvel era. Since Kevin Feige has said Avengers Secret Wars will lead into the X-Men, it makes sense that Phase 7 will be where they get the bigger spotlight, especially if this serves as an origin for them. If X-Men will be leading forces of the MCU going forward, it makes sense to have them relatively young, allowing fans to see them grow up and become fully fleshed out. Time will tell if Sink, Dickinson, and Butters will get cast as the 3 X-Men characters. It's always possible that other names could be in contention, especially once the rebooted movie has a director. There haven't been any updates on the project since the X-Men movie landed a writer, meaning that things may not be fully finalized in terms of concept, which would definitely affect the casting process. Hopefully Feige and Marvel Studios will have more X-Men updates in the coming months. Mwambut, you bring up a fabulous point. They are not going to cast this movie. They are not going to bother making this movie until after Avengers Secret Wars. I don't understand why people continue to do the thing, and that thing being...
Maybe the problem is the fuck puppet delivering. Oh, yeah.
The problem here, everybody, is the fuck puppet delivering this news. If you like watching the Hot Mic Show with John Rocha and Jeff Snyder, that's your business. More power to you. If it gives you some sense of enjoyment, if it gives you any kind of serotonin, dopamine fix, what the fuck ever, good for you. When it comes to anything Marvel related, I usually take, especially when it comes from the rat, Jeff Snyder, I usually take it with a grain of salt, as I tend to, as everyone tends to. I will also just posit that I think, and I've said this before, I think someone at Disney probably feels bad for him, given his god-awful track record of being just a fucking terrible human being behind the scenes, writing for 3 different outlets and getting fired by those 3 different outlets because he's, quote, a hothead who doesn't know how to keep a thing in check or keep things a secret. He's always very quick to blab before anyone with an official stance can say anything. Yeah, I'm pretty firm in my idea that someone at Disney just feels bad for him because, well, let's just face it, Jeff Snyder has never been the most reliable reporter that there is out there. There are quite a fair few people who are far more reliable in what they tend to do. Like Aaron Couch, like Boris Kitt, Justin Kroll. There are a lot more credible names out there than Jeff Snyder. That's why he's gone so far as to make a name for himself under his own doofy little banner called The In-Snyder, saying dumb shit like news with an edge. No, it's not edgy, bro. It's just your fucking dumbass opinion. But, hey, he gets his name in the headlines. That's all he gives a fuck about, right? Anyway, when it comes to the X-Men, again, like, Marvel's not going to do anything with this movie until after Secret Wars. Granted, I could be wrong about that too. They very well could thrust an X-Men movie into production around the same time as Secret Wars if they really wanted to. Do I think they will? No. No, I don't. I don't think that's going to happen at all, honestly. I truly think that they are going to keep whatever they are working on as close to the chest as far as Phase 7 is concerned until around or after Avengers Secret Wars comes out. Much like they did with, Phase 4 following Endgame. Because following Endgame, we had no idea what the fuck was going to happen until that fateful D23 in December where they gave the whole Phase 4 slate. You had Fantastic Four, Black Widow, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Eternals, like the whole fucking, all of it for Phase 4 was just laid out on the table. I think Spider-Man came at a later time, but let's see. Mwambut says, unless it's coming from Kevin Feige, I'm not believing anything coming out of these scoopers' mouths, and look at how many people got the Fantastic Four casting wrong. Right. The Fantastic Four casting went through like 4 or 5 different rounds of rumors before, I believe it was Daniel RPK who broke the story of Pedro Pascal landing the role of Reed Richards before Marvel subsequently announced the full cast in February of last year. So, and as always, take these words with a grain of salt, especially if they're not coming from anyone specific like Kevin Feige or James Gunn. basically anyone working on any of these projects, anyone who has any real ties to this, if it's coming from anyone other than that, grain of salt, always take it with a grain of salt. Draven, you spelled Michael Jordan wrong. I also feel sorry for Rob Liefeld, but the guy needs to move on and get over it. That is a beautiful segue, Mom. What? Let me go ahead and pull this story up because we're going to have a good laugh. We are going to have an excellent laugh. Here, you guys ready for this? Here. Get ready to laugh. Because Rob Liefeld has cut ties with Marvel again for like I don't know how many times he's done it because this isn't the first time. But let's all just go ahead and dive into this Hollywood Reporter piece. Just fucking Liefeld, man. Oh my god. Okay, let's check this shit out. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld will no longer work with Marvel after Deadpool and Wolverine premiere indignities. The writer-artist describes several perceived slights, such as being denied access to the after party, and makes a head-turning claim, quote, Kevin Feige does not treat comic book writers well. Okay, Rob. Okay. Rob Liefeld is done with Marvel. The comic artist and creator says that after more than 30 years, he is severing ties with the publisher for whom he created renowned characters Deadpool and Cable. Liefeld laid out a decision in a 90-minute episode of his Robservation podcast, that's egotistical, as well as in a following interview with The Hollywood Reporter, which he detailed a series of perceived slights at July's New York premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine. At the premiere, Liefeld learned he and his family were not invited to the after party, something he was accustomed to attending. He also felt snubbed by Disney brass, including Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige, whom he says was near him on the red carpet but did not acknowledge him. It was meant to embarrass, diminish, defeat me, Liefeld said on his podcast of not gaining access to the after party. There was another apparent slight. Liefeld said he posed for the professional photos with creatives on the Deadpool and Wolverine team. Later was told by his publicist those photos were deleted. He believes they were only taken as a courtesy and not intended to be used, though other photos featuring Liefeld alone, as with his family, appeared as part of Disney's Getty Press portal from the event. Fucking winebag. Soon after July's premiere, he decided he would cut ties with Marvel, which he believed no longer wanted him around. At some point, you go, I've received the message, and the message is clear. Liefeld said that his discomfort with Marvel began in early 2023 when he learned the company made the controversial decision to change the credits on Wolverine, awarding co-creator status to editor Roy Thomas. The character was created decades before Liefeld worked in comics, but he is close to Christina Vallada, the widow of Wolverine co-creator Len Wein, who was upset with the decision. That's understandable. That is fairly understandable. There was a little bit of controversy surrounding that. I recall that. A year later, on June 3rd, 2024, Liefeld fired off an email to Marvel asking if he could receive a special credit on Deadpool Wolverine and inquiring what else might be offered to him in terms of access to movie premieres and other promotional opportunities. Liefeld did not ask for more money as he was already perhaps the richest deal among Marvel creators. I can't roll my eyes any further into the back of my head. Marvel generally credits comic creators at the end of the movie, but Liefeld wanted to be elevated to something more significant, citing the opening credits of 1978 Superman, which prominently listed Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster as the co-creators of Superman. Quote, Marvel's treatment of creators has never been their strength, wrote in the email. Without the worlds, the characters, and the concepts that we create, and in this specific case, the world of Deadpool, there are no films to shoot. No blockbusters to distribute. I am not the easy button at Staples. I am a human imagination behind it all. He asked if his request could be elevated to Feige or Disney CEO Bob Iger. Comic book creators cannot continue to be relegated as afterthoughts. This is easy to address. Unless I reach out to address it, it will never manifest. Okay. Let's get one thing abundantly fucking clear. Rob Liefeld was not the one pushing for a Deadpool movie to be made in the first place. That falls solely on the shoulders of one Ryan Reynolds. Okay? Number 2. Rob Liefeld is more or less a modern-day Bob Kane. Anyone familiar with the name should go, oh, Bob Kane, Batman, bingo! Here's the thing. Bob Kane did not solely create Batman. Bill Finger is a large reason why anything you can adjudicate with Batman, be it the Dark Knight mantle, the Batmobile, Robin, so many things pertinent to who Batman is, probably came from the mind of Bill Finger. Bob Kane took a lot of that credit. Into the 90s, well after Bill Finger died. It wasn't until 2014 that Warner Brothers and DC finally went, you know, Bill Finger should probably get a co-creator credit on Batman. And so, with the show Gotham and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice was the very first time since Hey Diddle Riddle, or Hey Riddle, whatever the fuck episode it was, Bill Finger got credit for something Batman related. It was not until 2014. And yet you've got Rob Liefeld here going, I created Deadpool! Why am I not getting invited to parties? Why is my name not up there like Joel Siegel, Jerry Siegel, and Joe Shuster? Why is it not in front of Deadpool Wolverine before you see the title created by Rob Liefeld? Wah. 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 It's hi diddle diddle. Thank you, Jake. Wah. 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 All I'm hearing from Rob Liefeld in all of this is, wah, I didn't get my way. Wah. 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 Liefeld did not receive a response, but was told by his agents at Verve that the message was not received well inside Marvel. Gee, I wonder why. A day later, he tweeted, my reps were screamed at today. Quote, we are not Fox. Tell me about it. Also hung up on. He believes the tension stemming from this email led to him not being invited to the Deadpool and Wolverine after party. Well, in fairness, the movie's called Deadpool and Wolverine. It's not called Deadpool, created by Rob Liefeld. So, there's that. Liefeld, while in his 20s in the early 90s, became a part of a rare field group of million-dollar comic book creators. Over the years, he developed what his detractors call a hard-charging reputation and habit of minimizing the contributions of others who have also worked on Deadpool. They point to an often-cited 2016 New York Times article in which he downplayed the work of Fabian DeSazia, who is credited as co-creator for scripting Deadpool's first appearance in New Mutants number 98 from a plot by Liefeld, who illustrated the 1990 issue. Well, yeah, if Fabian DeSazia wrote the damn issue, then yes, in that regard, he would then be, in theory, a co-creator of Deadpool. Because he is. While we respect his wow, okay, I'm gonna fuck this up. While we respect what he's contributed, he does not respect what others have contributed, says one insider. Gee, I wonder who could have said that. I can only wonder. It's got to be someone at Marvel Studios, if I had to guess. But Liefeld, for his part, tells THR he is the one who lobbied 20th Century Studios to give both himself and DeSazia who co-creator status in the first two Deadpool movies. He has cited writer Joe Kelly for introducing the now integral fourth wall-breaking characteristic of the anti-hero 7 years after Liefeld created him, and he often credits Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds for elevating the character to the global stage and new levels of popularity. Rewrite that whole bit. It's Ryan Reynolds is the reason why the damn movie happened to begin with. Ultimately, Liefeld and DeSazia were given the standard Deadpool created by credit at the end of Deadpool and Wolverine. Well, of course they were. Every other comic book creator who's created anything for Marvel Comics gets that credit in every single movie in which their character appears in. This is nothing. This is nothing new at all. Liefeld was also acknowledged in the movie itself in a way few living comic book creators have enjoyed. The film's signature scene in which Deadpool and Wolverine battle dozens of Deadpool variants, known as the Deadpool Corps, takes place in front of a store called Liefeld's Just Feet, an inside joke about the artist, who fans say does not draw feet. Liefeld was also invited to visit the set in London. This all sounds like someone who is indeed accorded to the respect of a prominent comic book creator. But when asked by THR about these booms, Liefeld suggested that during the London set visit, he began to feel unwelcome, though he declined to elaborate. Huh. That's funny. He tells THR it was a contrast to how he felt on Deadpool and Deadpool 2, which were made by 20th Century Fox. He notes he was involved in test screenings on those films, and he met with the marketing team on Deadpool 2. They had me along for the ride, and I caused zero drama. I was happy to be there. In his podcast, Liefeld asserted a head-turning opinion about Feige, who generally has only spoken in Hollywood and comic book circles with superlatives. Quote, Kevin Feige does not treat comic book creators well. That is my personal experience. Okay. When you add, that is my personal experience, that becomes solely experience to you, and that does not apply to any other comic book creator that may have had an interaction with Kevin Feige. Asked about this topic, Liefeld tells THR, do I think he can improve his relationship with comic creators? Yes. He says he wishes Feige would have spent a few moments to chat with him and his family at the Deadpool Wolverine premiere, and would like Marvel to acknowledge creators more in general. Oh, this is rich. He points to DC Studios' James Gunn as an executive and filmmaker who is constantly praising comic creators, flying them to the Superman set. Okay. Hold the fucking phone there, Rob Liefeld, because last I remember, Marvel Studios did that exact thing for the Fantastic Four when they were filming in London. They did not have everyone they invited due to scheduling conflicts or even people unable to attend because, well, they couldn't get their passport updated in time. But there was a handful of comic creators, writers, and artists who were absolutely on the set of Fantastic Four. No, it wasn't Stan Lee or Jack Kirby for obvious reasons, but still, pertinent people who had worked on Fantastic Four were 100% flown to the set of Fantastic Four: The First Steps. So, if this is you trying to buddy yourself up to James Gunn, you might want to try again there, pal, because it ain't fucking working and it ain't flying by me. That's for damn sure. Oh boy. Feige, however, is also known to publicly laud creators. He name checks creators at San Diego Comic-Con. He's often seen hobnobbing with creators on Marvel red carpets. The studio also flew a number of creators to the set of Fantastic Four: First Steps in October. Held a New York Comic-Con panel pairing the stars of Daredevil and comic book creators together. Liefeld is known for being a relentlessly upbeat promoter of his work and personal brand, despite the conflicting feelings enjoying hosting a series of fan screenings for Deadpool and Wolverine this summer. He admits he was nervous about dropping this on the podcast, revealing what he considers a loss. Getting denied from a party isn't the type of thing he'd usually publicize, but it seems like his fan base liked his more vulnerable side, or maybe it was spilling the Marvel tea. As the episode became the most downloaded in Robservation's 5-year history, it also came 1 week before his final Marvel work will hit stands. Deadpool Team Up number 5. Quote, you can't always share your hits. Sometimes you have to share your misses. This one was a miss. It was important for me to do the podcast so people could hear my voice. You didn't hear anyone who was angry. At times it was hard to hide how sad I was. Wah. 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 You know what? This is probably Rob Liefeld to Marvel right now.
Still waiting on that heifer, Julio. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.
I mean, look. Never been a fan of Rob Liefeld. Homeboy can't draw feet. Homeboy can't proportionally draw Captain America's chest. Talked a lot of shit about Batman versus Superman. then had the gall to turn around and be like, release the Snyder Cut! Rob Liefeld is one of the most two-faced people in comics. The man has cried about Marvel more times than I can count, and yet somehow, some way, Marvel's like, yeah, sure, man, come back and do whatever you want. They let him come back and work. That's like going back to your ex only for the sex. Yeah, the sex may be great, but is the relationship worth it? Fuck no! Absolutely fucking not! Anyway. Wasn't Rob Liefeld just recently shitting on James Gunn on Twitter? Did you send me that, Hugger? What did Hunter Iggy say? No, I didn't see your comment. See, hey, Antonio Baker, what's up? Anyway, yeah, I don't know what comment you're talking about, Hunter. It's hysterical to see Fabian DeSavia giving Liefeld a taste of his own medicine, where DeSavia names himself as the sole creator of Deadpool at cons to give Liefeld shit for doing the same thing. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. Well, he was a part of the Image Comics documentary a few years ago, so he has no right to complain at all. No, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Reynolds was trying to get that movie made for over a decade, and Fox kept telling him no until the test footage was leaked and the response was overtly positive. Correct, you are. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not on Twitter, so if he was, that wouldn't fucking shock me, because like I just said, Rob Liefeld is two-faced as fuck. And this whole Kevin Feige doesn't treat comic book creators well. No, Rob Liefeld, he just doesn't give a fuck about you. Because I've seen the man talk with other people on the red carpet. Comic book creators, I've seen him talk with fans, I've seen him talk with a whole bunch of other people. Hell, he took a picture with my friend at Comic-Con. If Kevin Feige avoids you on the red carpet, it's probably not Kevin Feige's problem. It's a you problem, meaning you're probably the problem. Anyone else noticing a common denominator in all this? Yeah, it's called Rob Liefeld, because Rob Liefeld has a fucking problem and he's never dealt with it. So, wah. This is like seriously, reading all of that and reading everything Rob Liefeld said, the only thing that comes to mind for me, wah. Boo-hoo. Wah. You know what? This is probably exactly how Rob Liefeld felt the minute he found out he was not going to that after party. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh man. That was funny. That was too funny. Oh boy. Speaking of Marvel. Marvel dropped a new trailer. I don't know if anyone saw it. Looks pretty cool. Might take place in the 60s. It's about Marvel's first family. Starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Ebon Moss-Backrack, Ralph Ineson, Julia Gardner, probably Robert Downey Jr. Little movie, just a, nice little movie called The Fantastic Four, The First Steps! Oh my God! Sorry, I know that was loud, but this trailer, number one, if you want to see my reaction to the whole damn thing, it's on my channel. We sat through about 10 minutes worth of people talking before they finally pushed the button and launched the trailer, which was dope as fuck, by the way. But if you want to see my reaction, it's there. It's on YouTube for the world to see with a crappy thumbnail that I threw together very, very shortly after the trailer came, because I had to throw everything together and edit it together and then go to work that morning, that fine Tuesday morning, February 4th, 2/4/25. Listen, guys, let me tell you something about the Fantastic Four. I can't wait for this movie. I really can't wait for this movie. It's going to be awesome. What really caught me off guard was like seeing that a lot of the test footage used in the trailer. I was like, oh, that's clever. That way you guys have more time to work on the VFX heavy stuff, show something of the movie, but not show too much of the movie. Brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Brilliant. That's how I feel about the trailer. It's brilliant. The movie looks brilliant. Michael Giacchino's score sounds fantastic. They all look exactly like the characters from the comics. They feel like the characters from the comics. Hell, you could even argue they feel like the characters from the other animated shows. I, honest to God, cannot wait for Fantastic Four. I think Ben Grimm looks amazing. I think Sue Storm's invisible powers look fucking dope as shit. I can't wait to see Johnny Storm say "Flame on." Man, and that shot of Galactus looking down at the Statue of Liberty. Oh, nerdgasm. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait for this movie. You give me a 19... It's funny because long time ago, before Fox sold to Disney, and much sometime after Fan Four Stick from 2015 just twittered out and failed at the box office, there was a part of me that was like, if you could do, other superheroes in certain time periods, like period piece movies. Someone asked me, what would you do with the Fantastic Four? And I was like, I would set it in the 60s, the year they were created, and I would have it be a 60s period piece. And then sure enough, what does Marvel Studios do? Oh, we're making a 60s period piece, and it's a space race, and it's like got nuclear family vibes. I'm like, I'm not going to ask you for a royalty check, but all I ask is that it just give me the movie. This is literally the movie that I wanted to be made, and it's getting made. Like, Reed doing the thing on the chalkboard, fucking the whole space launch thing, like Ben looking at his old self in like the trench coat, Herbie, all of it, man. Like I watch this trailer, not repeatedly, but I watch it when I want to feel good. And damn, that trailer fucking makes me feel so good. I love it. I love the Fantastic Four. I love Reed Richards. I love that Reed Richards is finally making his way into the MCU. And I love Johnny. I love Sue. Sue is like one of the strongest people in Marvel Comics. Fuck me, dude. And man, I hope to God this means that the Thing and the Hulk are going to fight eventually. I fucking hope so. That's one fight I've been wanting to see for a long damn time. I think John Malkovich is playing the Red Ghost. Okay, I thought for sure John Malkovich would be playing Franklin Storm, the father of Sue and Johnny. I don't at all think that is the case now. I think he's playing somebody else. Not really sure who. I want to let the movie surprise me unless it's revealed more marketing down the way. But I am kind of like, no, he's probably not playing Franklin Richards. That's probably a no-go. Saw it Tuesday morning, loved it, and people were complaining about the teaser trailer compared to the 2005 movie are not the same thing. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to compare it to that movie, but I will just say I think in a certain regard that this movie is taking the best elements of the first Fantastic Four film and Rise of the Silver Surfer and kind of blending them into one under a 1960s backdrop, because you have like, the subtle flashbacks of the origin. You have Galactus, even though he's not a giant fart cloud, but that's for the better. You have the Silver Surfer. You have all of them. They're a family. It's a thing. The question now is like, okay, well, what is the story? Because Galactus eats planets. And if Galactus is coming to eat that planet, they better fucking do something. They better figure some shit out. For sure. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Shia LaBeouf looks like. I can't wait to see the Silver Surfer in this movie. Oh my God. When I was watching William's stream on Tuesday, the only thing he wanted to see was Galactus' face, plus people were complaining about not showing Reed Richards using his powers. I would not doubt one bit that them not showing Reed Richards' powers probably has to do with the fact that it's probably going to be pretty VFX heavy, and that's why it was merely alluded to in a certain respect. Like for instance, him in front of that chalkboard, we all know damn good and well he's going to stretch his arm out and fucking write something at the other end of the chalkboard. Like that feels pretty painfully clear, right? Come on. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Definitely. Wombat says, I think the story will be Galactus looking for Franklin Richards. Franklin Richards is rumored to be in this movie, and honest to God truth, after John Krasinski's Reed Richards dropped the whole, oh, please, I have a wife and kids bit in Multiverse of Madness, I'm really leaning into the idea that Reed and Sue have kids, if not at the very least, Franklin. And Franklin Richards is like one of the most powerful people in Marvel Comics. So if you introduce him in this movie, I would shit my fucking pants. No joke. I would honestly be kind of happy if like they're pulling a little bit from what Dan Slott did and kind of have them multiverse hopping, but we'll see what happens in that respect, I suppose. I don't know. But overall, Fantastic Four is without a doubt my most anticipated trailer of the year. It's my most anticipated movie of the year. This was probably also my most anticipated trailer. I've been waiting for a while to see when this one was going to come. But yeah, without a doubt, this is my most anticipated superhero project of the year. And I say that as someone who is looking forward to Captain America next week. I say that as someone who is looking forward to Thunderbolts in May. I say that as someone who is going to watch Superman, and I'm looking forward to Superman in July. And I've also seen from friends that there's a bunch of discourse about, you know, people hyping up Fantastic Four over Superman and saying, oh, you know, Superman's cooked. Oh, fucking Superman's gonna fucking get it in July, whatever. And I'm just like, why? What compels you to be like tribal about it? Like, I don't really understand why you have to pick one over the other. Like, that's just kind of dumb, in my opinion. Like, and I say that as someone who used to do that. I used to do that very thing. I used to hype up DC movies over Marvel movies because I'm inherently a DC fan. But now I'm much older and I'm much more mature about things. And I look at both and I'm like, yeah, no, this is great. More is better. Cool. Granted, is there a conversation to be had about saturation in the superhero filmmaking sphere? Sure. But at the same time, it's like, we haven't had a Fantastic Four movie in over in a decade. It's been 10 years since the last Fantastic Four movie. It's been 12 years since the last solo Superman movie. Asterisk, because, well, Superman has super friends in this movie too. So, I don't know. I just think it's kind of dumb to like pit one against the other. Like, it's totally fine to be excited for one over the other. But like to just completely fucking like pick one over the other and say, oh, this is gonna fucking dominate this one. Like, why? I don't understand where the rage is coming from. I don't understand why it's a pissing contest. I don't understand, like, and I would have to imagine that probably some Snyder bros are probably like, you know, looking at Fantastic Four being like, yeah, that's right. Fucking, we're gonna use this. We're gonna bury James Gunn's Superman. Why? Like, you're just using a movie as ammo for another movie. That's quite stupid. So, I don't know. I've just seen some discourse about it that's just kind of innately weird and dumb. Like, I've even seen people say, you know, oh, why does the Thing's voice sound normal? Why does it need to be gravelly? Why does it need to be rocky? It was rocky and gravelly the last two times you saw the Thing in a movie. I think Ebon Moss-Backrack's voice sounds elegant for Ben Grimm. It's perfect. You don't need a rocky, gravelly voice. No. He's literally a Jewish man from New York. That's all you need for Ben Grimm. I don't know what people want. And I saw some other guy on Threads having a fucking meltdown at the fact that Reed Richards has a mustache. I'm like, really? That's your problem? You think the character got ruined in a movie because he got a fucking mustache? That's your hang up. I mean, oh my God. I have no words for that kind of inherent stupidity. That's so dumb. Reed Richards has a mustache. Yeah, and in a ton of other comic books, he's had a mustache. He's had like a 5 o'clock shadow. He's even had a full-on beard. Facial hair is not a new concept to Reed Richards. The things that people will go to such lengths to bitch about never ceases to amaze me. Like in the slightest at all. Like, I'm not shocked at all that people are not only using the Fantastic Four as ammo against James Gunn's Superman movie, but fuck. Apparently the trailer also had like 202 million views within its first 24 hours of debuting too. Really good. That's really good numbers. Granted, that's no indicator of just how profitable it's going to be at the box office, but that's definitely a good sign for sure. But hey, you know, Roger Corman's movie never got theatrically released. The first 2 Tim Story films were fine. The first one more so than the second one. So not counting Roger Corman's film, the 3 live action theatrically released Fantastic Four films have been fine. But what is it going to take for this one to be truly fantastic? I think the 4th time's the charm, and it looks like they finally got it right. By they, I mean Marvel Studios. I think Marvel and even Kevin Feige have looked at this project with utmost care, and they went, okay, what are we going to do with the Fantastic Four that makes it look different enough from what's come before, but also stand on its own feet, and also include it in our multiverse saga, which is a perfect time to introduce the Fantastic Four. A perfect time. I think that this movie overall is like Marvel Studios going back to what worked for Marvel Studios in phase 1. They literally went, okay, how can we make a superhero movie, but under what kind of genre do we disguise it in? And this is very much, again, space race, nuclear family, science fiction epic in the form of Fantastic Four. I do wish that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and their respective spouses could have been alive to see this film. That's my biggest, like, fuck awe, is like Stan Lee got to see Spider-Man, he got to see Doctor Strange, he got to see a whole shitload of characters he created. The only ones he did not get to see a genuinely great version of on film was the Fantastic Four. That's the part that kind of bums me out. But at the same time, it's just like, this literally looks like a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby fucking comic come to life. And I can't wait to see Fantastic Four First Steps, July 25th, 2025. Probably we'll see it while I'm at Comic-Con. It's going to be a packed month in July. You want to know why it's going to be a packed month in July? Because Jurassic World Rebirth dropped a trailer too. Literally the day after Fantastic Four trailer dropped. What's up, Ronan? So, I'm going to change gears here just a little bit. So this is the next Jurassic World movie. It's Jurassic Park 7. It's Jurassic World 4. Whatever way you spin it, it's just another Jurassic Park dinosaur film. Not really sure. I mean, whatever way you want to spin it, you can spin it whatever way. That's totally cool. Me personally, I saw this trailer early on Wednesday morning. It was nothing like how I feel about the Fantastic Four trailer. When I got up on Tuesday morning, I woke up at like the ass crack of like even before dawn at like 3:45 a.m. my time. Got my whole setup set up so I could watch the Fantastic Four trailer. Put YouTube on my TV. Well, actually, I had it So the way my setup is I have my TV acting as a fourth monitor. So I've got literally 60 inches of beauty streaming whatever the fuck I want, whenever I want, if I want to use my TV. And sometimes I do. But I had the trailer up, and then like 4 a.m. my time hit, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then an hour-long timer hits, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to wait. And I waited for an hour. Then I got the Fantastic Four trailer, and it was amazing. As far as Jurassic World is concerned, though, I watched that trailer on my phone when I woke up, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to work. Literal night and day reaction. Difference in reaction. I was hyped for Fantastic Four. Put my reaction out there. Was just so proud of everything that I'd seen. And then I saw Jurassic World, and I was like, okay. Went to work. Didn't think much of it. Chatted with the guys in the Discord about it. Okay. What do I think about Jurassic World Rebirth? Well, for starters, I think Gareth Edwards has done a really great job at making the dinosaurs look and feel real. He did the same thing with Godzilla. I think that is a high point for me. I think having Gareth Edwards as a director is a high point for me, because I love a lot of what Gareth Edwards has done. He's a great director, great at composing shots. I like that we're kind of going back to some of the roots of Jurassic Park and making the dinosaurs feel almost terrifying again. And they look different. They look a little meaner than they're supposed to be, I guess. I don't know. The only thing I can safely say is, prior to seeing this trailer and having was it? Give me I don't remember the gentleman's name, but executive producer, last name Marshall, was talking about this movie and how they pulled a scene from the book that did not make it into the original Jurassic Park film, and they put it in this movie, and that's a T-Rex going after people in an inflatable raft in a canal, in a riverbank or something. And I was like, well, color me intrigued. You just got me to download Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton on Audible. And I've been reading Jurassic Park on my way to and from work. And it's good. It's a good book. Believe me, it is vastly fucking different from the movie. And as I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, that's different. Oh, that's different. Oh, that's also different. Oh, but that's the same. That's also the same. The characterizations of characters from the Jurassic Park novel to the movie is wildly different. Wildly different. Believe me. Like, John Hammond in the book is almost devilish. And in the movie, he's just fucking Colonel Sanders. It's a night and day difference. And that's just one aspect of the book that is vastly different from the movie. But when it comes to Rebirth, yeah, I think the only high points for me are visually it looks great. The dinosaurs look good. Now here's the part where I get critical. Because Jurassic Park is one of my favorite films of all time. And by that very notion, no matter what you do following that, every other film to follow those footsteps is never going to meet the standard that the first film set, because the first film is just so perfect in nearly everything it sets out to do. Even though I have like a very big, soft, loving spot for Lost World Jurassic Park, I actually quite like that movie a lot. And then Jurassic Park 3, it's a fun time. It's a little contrived. Actually, it's quite contrived. It's literally, how do we get Alan Grant back on an island facing off with dinosaurs? And it's a convenience and a contrivance after convenience after contrivance after convenience after contrivance over and over again. But the Spinosaurus was pretty fucking cool in that movie. And to see the Spinosaurus return in this film, and there's like fucking 3 of them now, I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Here's the thing, though. Contrivance, I think, has plagued the Jurassic Park franchise ever since Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic World. Oh, we're doing an island resort again. You're basically redoing the first movie. Oh, look, we have 2 little kids and we have, you know, a genetically enhanced dinosaur that we created ourselves. Oh, so that's the big draw, is you made up your own dinosaur this time. That's convenient. Then you get to Fallen Kingdom. What's Fallen Kingdom? Oh, we made up our own Velociraptor. It's got the same exact DNA as the Indominus Rex, but the only difference is like it's smaller and it's based off of Velociraptor. Oh, that's convenient. Oh, and by the way, there's a little girl who has dinosaur DNA too. Oh, that's a little contrived. Granted, Fallen Kingdom has its own merits for being like wicked dark and almost horror-ish in certain respects. Matter of fact, I would even say like Fallen Kingdom is probably the most distinct one of them all, of the three Jurassic World movies that, you know, Colin Trevorrow and his crew handled. Then you get to Jurassic World Dominion and all hell breaks loose. All the dinosaurs are all over the planet. What are we going to focus on? Jurassic locusts. Oh, but hey, you know, we got Ian Malcolm, Alan Grant, and Laura Dern back. When I saw Jurassic World Dominion in the theater, and it gets to the point in the movie where you literally see the T-Rex head inside the circle of the fountain inside the Biosyn fucking facility in what, Italy or whatever, I was like, actually, matter of fact, I audibly said in the theater, get fucked. It was so on the nose, it's not even funny. And now here we are with Jurassic World Rebirth. Oh, we're getting a crew of people together. We're sending them off to an island, and we're going to try and get this, like, we're going to get dinosaur DNA because it could be like a breakthrough in humanity to stop a heart disease. Oh, that's a little contrived. There's problem number one that I have with it. We're literally just contriving ways to just get people on island to fucking go up against dinosaurs. And it's like, okay, you guys are kind of starting to maybe run the gambit a little bit in terms of how you make dinosaurs relevant to the human beings. And that's my second problem, are the human characters in this movie based on this trailer. Like, Scarlett Johansson is literally phoning in this performance, and I'm just like, okay, you're basically just doing Black Widow Redux. That's kind of unfortunate because I know you're a better actress than this. Like, I've seen you and Adam Driver deliver like one of the most emotional, just superb back and forths in the film on Netflix that they did together a few years ago. I know Scarlett Johansson is way more dedicated, and this just feels so phoned in. I have no fucking clue about Jonathan Bailey. I don't know the guy. If I've seen him in anything, it's been probably like, oh, cool. The only character I think having fun in this movie is probably Mahershala Ali. He's literally the only one who fucking understood the assignment. Oh, big dinosaurs? Okay. We're gonna fucking overdo it all. Good. He's literally the only one who understood the assignment. But Scarlett Johansson delivers these just stale lines in such an unenthused way. I'm just like, okay, you know, maybe she is like this cold case killer type character who's like a bounty hunter or something, or who's like a fucking mercenary or whatever the fuck. She's like, oh, you know, we get people in and out of places they're not supposed to be. Oh, okay. Oh, everything you just said sounds very, very scary. It's like, could you maybe emote just a little bit? Like, you're surrounded by Spinosauruses and a Mosasaurus. Like, I feel like the Terrifier factor here should be a little more heightened, and you're just literally looking at the camera, delivering the line from the script you probably read not even 10 minutes ago. Okay, that's a little harsh. But my point is like, it just feels very, very subpar and stale in terms of character performances. And I'm just like, also, these are caricatures of characters we've seen before. Like, you're going to sit here and tell me Jonathan Bailey doesn't remind you of Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm rolled into one? Because he does. And Scarlett Johansson is totally the bounty hunter from Lost World Jurassic Park. Am I wrong? I might be. I don't know. I haven't seen the fucking movie yet, but based on that trailer, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. But again, like, her just very stiff line delivery has me just like, eh. And look, I'm gonna watch all 3 of these movies come July. Like, I will see Jurassic World, Jurassic 7. There we go. Jurassic 7. I'm gonna watch Jurassic 7 July 4th weekend, okay? I'll watch the damn movie then. I'll see Superman July 4th. Wow. Superman July 11th. I will see that movie with hopefully friends. I don't know. We'll see. And then I'll probably watch it again July 25th with Fantastic Four. Again, with friends at Comic-Con. But I gotta be honest, like, my level of excitement for the 3 movies is in reverse order of release. Fantastic Four is at the top, Superman is in the middle, and then Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm just like, man, and I love dinosaurs. I love those movies. I love Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park, again, is like one of the greatest movies ever made, bar none, period. And anything trying to, good luck living up to that. Good fucking luck, okay? But I look at this movie and I'm just like, oh, you know, you guys were talking all this game and I was getting a little hype there. And then I see the trailer and I'm just like, I'm just like, God damn it. Yep. That's how I feel. God damn it. Although I will say the whole mutant dinosaur thing that's in the background, I don't know what the fuck that's about, but hey, here for it. Anyway. Well, we've reached the 1 hour mark. That's where I like to, say bye-bye and whatnot. I mean, there wasn't too much to talk about, but there was a lot to talk about in terms of stuff meant to release soon. You know, we had 2 trailers this week, one amazing trailer, the other one, well, probably amazing depending on who you talk to. A bunch of rumors from that fucking rat, you know, like there's always going to be something to talk about, I'm sure. Maybe next week we may or may not get something for Lanterns. I don't know. That'd be cool. Maybe we'll see. I have no idea. Can't say for sure. But, do me that favor. Do that thing. Do the thing. You know. This thing. Really helps me out. Helps the show. Helps the channel. Would just greatly appreciate it. Like, I would just, really, really appreciate that if you already haven't, But, just want to take a moment to thank everyone who popped in. Jeffrey, Malcolm, Jedi Mike, Mumbwa, Draven, Jake, Antonio, Iggy, Travis, Ronan, like all my guys. Just again, thank you so much. I do the show for not only me, but I do it for you guys. I just I just come in at the end of the week. I like talking about all this shit. I like fucking just shooting the shit with people in my chat. I just like talking movie stuff. Next week, I will have seen Captain America Brave New World. That'll absolutely be a talking point. I haven't got my ticket yet, but I'll probably get it either this weekend or sometime early next week for a Thursday showing, so I can come here and talk about it, obviously. But yeah, if there's anything else that breaks next week, I'll be talking about it. But as I always like to say, much love, stay safe, take care, thanks for watching, and keep it classy. Always keep it classy. You know what I mean? Keep it classy. Just keep it classy. Anyway, much love. Take care.